Hey, I'm here with Captain Gainey, and he contacted me a little while ago today and proposed a really awesome idea. Now, Captain Gainey is stationed here with the Salvation Army in the Southern Territory, specifically Eastern North Carolina. And you talked to me earlier on the phone a little bit about this new project idea you had for the church. What is it exactly? What kind of idea?
Well, what I want us to do is just come up with short videos. A lot of churches are doing this. A lot of different denominations are doing it. And so I thought maybe we could come up with something that we could have our own sort of creative arts,
a little creative arts program
ministry going on, and
but adding like video, you know, like
So we create videos that are for either for youth or they're for adults. Maybe we put them on we could even put them on just on our Facebook pages that reach people in the core. It doesn't have to be anything official beyond that, as far as media on the internet goes. And so I would think that we could do a creative arts thing where we can get all people of all ages involved in it. We can use them for themes, like in worship services. We can use them online, just to send out to people to watch. Maybe a short message that the church wants to share, the core wants to share with people.
Yeah, that sounds like a very good idea. So, you really been into the public relations thing for a while then. It's probably one of your stronger things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I do a lot of podcasting. I think I have about 10,000 followers on my podcast.
Okay.
So I've yet to do the video. I've got a few videos on YouTube, but nothing that's been really creative other than sitting and talking in front of a video camera.
Kind of like what we're doing right now.
I'm looking for something more creative.
Yeah, kind of like what we're doing right now. But yeah, I've been kind of wanting to do like acting, but I've also had my heart set too on trying in the near future do some directorial things, because I just have that thing in my mind about directing something. But then when you approached me on the phone earlier today about starting something here, I'm like, this could really be a chance for me to bring out my directorial side.
Yeah, what I'm picturing is something like what you're talking about there. Where what I'm sort of imagining is that it would be something like a videoed skit.
Just taking stories from the Bible, both Old and New Testament,
maybe,
right?
Or maybe something even more modern, stuff that isn't necessarily a Bible story.
Oh, contemporary, but adding
a Bible message.
But adding the virtuous and faith-based tones to it.
Right. So we have like a Christian message.
I think that's a really good idea. You know, when my father was alive and active in the Salvation Army, he tried some things himself. But I think you had stated to me earlier too that there's still a lot of people in the Salvation Army that are still kind of like old school and don't really like change very much.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, we like to hold on to who we are. We get really concerned at times, especially in a fading Christian world where Christianity is literally diminishing in the West. We want to hold on to everything that we can. And so any kind of change sometimes, rather than helping us create a new bell curve, it's a threat, and it makes us feel like it's going to somehow threaten the meaning of what we've lived and what's been created through our denomination. And so we have to be careful that we're doing what God is doing. And what God is blessing, like Rick Warren says, do what God is blessing and not always ask God to bless what you're doing.
You know, is this the same guy that wrote that book you were telling me about too?
No, this is Rick Warren's the guy who wrote the book, The Purpose-Driven Life.
Purpose-Driven Life, that's right. But you also mentioned another book by somebody else about getting around the hairball or something?
Oh yeah, Orbiting the Giant Hairball.
Orbiting the Giant Hairball.
The hairball represents all the rules and the all of the rules that have come along with the traditions.
Yeah.
And so somehow you have to find a way to orbit that without getting thrown off into outer space, or what we might call fired, and then also not getting sucked into it so that you can't be creative. So you have to find a way to balance that with respecting the traditions and the things that are valuable to the organization without becoming nothing more than just a part of it, but actually still being able to express what God has created, who God has created each person to be.
I think there's a lot of young people, anywhere from their probably as mature as early 40s all the way on back to their teens, who are who do have a lot of faith in their lives and they want to hold on to that, but they're finding it very hard to try to be creative with it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's basically where I'm coming from. I'm like 36 years old now, and for the longest time I've been trying to find other creative outlets to express my faith. And I've come to a point in my life that, you know, if I never get into a serious acting career like a lot of these other big celebrities and stars out there, you know, if I never get into that because of my Christian faith, oh well, so be it. Because I decided I'm going to try to use my faith, you know, and put it into my creative outlet. You know, it's like there's another actor out there I know who portrayed a religious figure, and he did quote one time, "If I never act again after this, it won't bother me." I remember his name, but yeah, I really like the idea you brought forth.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really liking that. Where do you think we ought to start with this? Like,
well, I think what we start with is we look and see what are people watching, and so I think we get on ourselves onto the internet and that kind of thing, and find out what it is that people are looking for, and then we try to not redo that, but add to it.
You know, that does give me an idea. We can actually express to the viewers, for those of you who are trying to hold on to your faith, why don't you give us some ideas of where we could start? You know, whether you want to see our people in our church do like something out of the Bible or something just faith-based, you know? You can express to us exactly what you want to see us try to do. It's me and Captain Gainey and whoever else in this church wants to participate.
Okay.
So,
Sounds great.
well, thanks for your time.
Okay.
See you next time. Keep on checking back to find out when the next interview is and who I'm interviewing.